Hello my friends, Kelly DeHaan from the Hale Center Theater here with you again today, and so glad to be. Last time we talked about how to use our air and how to turn that air into beautiful singing. We did some exercises that helped us to really tie in to our support mechanism down there and to utilize that breath. One of the exercises we did was to count in sets of 8, trying to make it to 8 sets of 8, and then maybe with a goal of extending to 10 or 12 sets of 8. And I hope that you've been trying that, working on that, and improving your breath control. It can be changed. It's one of the easiest things, I think, to change about your singing is your tie in to your breath, all right? Utilizing that air. It comes quickly. You can really make huge gains that way if you will just do it. All right, today we're going to talk about placement. Placement in the tone is just as important as breath. If we think of breath as the foundation, and then of placement as the actual building of our voice, right? What it looks like, what it sounds like. We have to have that good foundation, but on top of that, we need to create beauty. I am not an artist, but I want you to, I'm going to draw you kind of a profile of what the vocal mechanism or the resonance mechanism looks like. I'll make it big so we can see it. This is a face. All right, that's a face. We have, let's represent the teeth here with these little dashes. And then we have the tongue, which goes like this down our throat. We have these little bumps here called the alveolar ridge. Then we have our hard palate. Then we have our soft palate. All right? We also have areas up in here, your sinuses, your nasal pharynx. Okay. So this opening here is called your oral pharynx. A pharynx is just a medical term or a technical term for any time you have a space inside your body. A pharynx means space. So this is your oral pharynx, you have your nasal pharynx, and you also have just your plain old pharynx, at the back in your throat. Okay, so you have all these resonating spaces in your mouth, in your sinuses, and in your throat. All right, pharyngeal space. With that pharyngeal space, that's where the sound bounces around. You remember, if you've ever been in a cathedral, right? You've seen those amazing Gothic ceilings, right? That are built not only to be beautiful, but for sound, right? So that as the pastor or the clergyman would speak, his voice would ring throughout the space and could be heard. As the choir sang in those glorious buildings, right, the sound would echo around and just last and last and last. I love that. My choir room here at Mountain Ridge High School is designed with that in mind. It's got beautiful resonance in here, beautiful. You should hear my kids singing here. Oh, they're awesome, I miss them. All right, so our goal with our placement is to get our tongue as low as possible and to get our soft palate as high as possible, because then we have more space for ringing. We can also access this sinus space, nasal space, okay? Our goal is to access all of this resonant space inside our mouth, all right? So now I'm going to switch the camera. We're going to talk just a little more about that. That was a challenge for me. I'm not a cameraman, and I'm here alone by myself. All right, so if we think of, I want you to think of my hand as my jaw, my fingers as my bottom teeth, and your tongue is, my tongue is going to be this hand, okay? So, hello, all right? So my tongue normally kind of sits like this in the mouth. When we are singing, and The day I learned this was a huge game changer for me. All right, when I learned that my tongue needed to be low and flat, why didn't anyone ever tell me that before? And a way to make it low and flat was to get it to touch the back of my bottom teeth. If the tip of my tongue is nestled behind my bottom teeth, and then the sides kind of expand out to fill the bottom of my mouth, I can get a great tone, all right? So it goes from la to la. That's one change. Made that, I don't know if it shows on video very well, but la, tongue is in the way, la, tongue is low. Now when I add my breath support to a low tongue, la, watch out world, Kelly DeHaan singing, la. So easy to create volume, right? When my tongue is down. The other thing we want to do is to raise the soft palate. So when you yawn, oh, contagious and wonderful yawns, right? Where the soft palate in the back of the mouth raises to a cathedral place, right? And the tongue normally gets out of the way, nice and low. Why? So we can get as much air in there as possible, because our brain's like, I need a little more air. Why don't you yawn? Okay, so let's yawn. You can breathe that air onto the back of your throat where it's nice and cool. Yeah? That tongue stays low. All right, so I want you to remember this rule for the rest of your life, is that if you are singing a vowel, no matter what language, no matter what vowel, no matter what show, no matter how you're feeling, every vowel you sing, your tongue should be touching your teeth, okay? If you're singing opera, or in an operatic style in musical theater, nighttime sharpens night. My tongue is low, right? Or if I'm singing kind of belty, pardon me, miss, but I've never done this with a real live girl. I wish I could show you a close-up of how good my tongue is being, right? It's so low. I should get a trophy for my tongue. Pardon me, miss, with a real live music of the night. It doesn't matter. Any type of singing, the tongue stays down. We've got to keep it low, all right? It's part of the healthiness. It's part of the ring factor that you're going to get. Now listen, some voices have better ring than others. Some voices are just bigger. Don't worry about that, okay? I'll never look like a Tarzan, right? I'm not built for that. I'm a short, funny guy, right? So I don't care about that. But our goal is to find as much resonance as we can with what we've got, right? Tongue is low, palate is raised, mouth is open. Dr. John Cooksey from the University of Utah, he was my first choir teacher at the University of Utah. Rest in peace, John. You were awesome. He's the one who told me to drop my jaw, but not like this. He said, Kelly, I need you to drop your jaw from behind. He was from the South, right? From behind, and he was about this tall. He had this great comb over, like me, okay? And so just dropping my jaw from my molars, right? Creating space between my molars. Put your fingers right here in front of your earlobes, and now open your mouth and drop these little, the jawbone out of joint. Just drop that ball joint, it's not really a ball joint, but kind of, out of the socket. That is how we open our mouth. Ah, where in the world have you been hiding? It doesn't work for every vowel, but for like ahs and ohs and oohs even a little bit, we can get those open. The jaw drops, the mouth opens. So if I try to sing, pardon me, miss, but I've never done this with a real live girl. But if I open my mouth, pardon me, miss, but I've never, it sounds a little funny, but if I open with a real live girl, I can get more resonance, right? Because it's like taking the end of a trumpet and sitting on it. If you sat on the end of a trumpet, you wouldn't get much sound. But that's why a trumpet opens like this. Right, for a big sound. That's why a piano lid can come open. That's why a violin has those beautiful F-shaped holes in it, right? The sound has to go somewhere, and it has to come out of your mouth. Supported, tongues out of the way, palates raised, mouth open. You can do it.